Here is a real quick surprise for the Android community. Google just dropped Android 17 Beta 2 seemingly completely out of the blue, and no, I did not intend for that to rhyme. That said, it was really unexpected. The last beta dropped just 13 days ago, and typically we see about a month between these builds. It feels like Google really has their release schedule figured out, and they're certainly delivering on that promise of faster Android releases, which is something that I always love to see. Either way, we just got the beta freshly installed on our Pixel devices, mine being the Pixel 9a, and we're going to take a quick look at everything new. First off, there was a pretty substantial blog post from Google directly where they shared a lot of the back-end changes that are totally worth mentioning. It does contain a lot of developer-focused language, so I'm only going to cover the major items here, but one of the biggest changes is a new feature called Bubbles. This is a whole new system function within Android where you can create an app bubble on your phone or large screen device simply by pressing and holding on an app icon in the launcher. If you're using a large screen device like a foldable or a tablet, for example, there's a new dedicated section in the taskbar where you can manage those bubbled apps or multitask as needed. When in use, it appears you have the ability to move or resize those bubbled windows, which is apparent by that little black bar at the top of the UI. On first impression, I'm actually a huge fan of this move. Typically, bubbles like this are only available for messaging apps, but having the flexibility to use it for anything is a huge win. I'll have to try it for myself when it does become live, which doesn't seem to be the case at this particular moment, so we'll just have to follow up on that later. Another new addition, again, primarily for developers, is a system-level eyedropper API. This allows an app to request a color from any pixel on the display, giving you the exact hex code you needed. If you use any creative tools like Photoshop, for example, you should immediately recognize the benefits of a color picker in this aspect. I'm quite often grabbing hex codes for specific colors while making a thumbnail or while working on some kind of graphic design project. And yes, while features like this already exist within some individual Android apps, Android now has a built-in system-wide solution. There's also a new system-level contacts picker. Google's blog says that this is designed to grant temporary, session-based read-only access to specific data fields requested by the user, reducing the need for broad read contacts permissions. Or, in normal people, layman's terms, this reads as a major privacy feature. In this beta, when an app does need a contact, it will use the system-level contact picker to select a specific person, similar to the allow only certain photos feature that you see on social media apps, and like I said, it's a nice little privacy bonus. Lastly, there are a few other technical items that are worth mentioning. We have better pointer capture compatibility with touchpads. Previously, touchpads were reporting input as if they were a touchscreen instead of a precision mouse. So the addition of this compatibility should bring the experience more in line with traditional PCs. There's also a new handoff API, giving apps the ability to start on one device like a Pixel 10, for example, and then have the session transferred seamlessly to another device like the Pixel tablet, again, just as an example. And those are the most important developer-facing changes that I've spotted, but there are over a dozen new mentions in the blog post, so please either check out the 9 to 5 Google article linked in the description, or you can check out Google's own blog post. So those are all of the major new additions on paper, but we also installed this update on our personal devices and looked around to see what we could spot for ourselves. For one, we do have redesigned privacy indicators. These used to be wide chip-style UI elements, but now they show up as little circular icons in the top right-hand corner. It's a bit cleaner and less intrusive, at least in my opinion. There's also a new satellite SOS quick settings tile for easy access to that particular safety setting that is available on the Pixel 9 and newer. To my surprise, the Pixel Launcher search bar at the bottom of the home screen has been reverted to its more basic, less colorful look. I'm not really sure why, but I hope the themed version does return soon because I think that colored border looks way better. In the settings menu, the backup or copy data and passwords, passkeys, and accounts tab have been combined into a single accounts and backup menu, and it just feels a lot more organized that way. And believe it or not, guys, that is it for the user-facing changes. So far, we haven't seen any of the bigger rumored items like the blurred UI elements or a split screen view for the quick settings menu. However, we did get over a dozen much needed bug fixes, solutions for general crashes, and general stability improvements. Also, and this might be a stretch, but we did pop into desktop windowing mode just to see if there were any changes. From first glance, there weren't any major UI elements to speak of, but from what I do remember when I last used it, desktop mode seems way more refined in these latest Android 17 builds. Animations seem a bit smoother, and it seems to perform just a lot better in general. I might be crazy here, here, or this might be the placebo effect, but I beg you guys to check it out for yourselves because I do feel it has improved since we last talked about it. And that, my friends, is everything new with Android 17 Beta 2. A lot of this stuff is mostly system level developer items, which is really the main point of these early betas in the first place. It's nothing mind-blowing by any means, but it does show some meaningful progress towards streamlining Android. A lot of these features, like the bubbles and the touchpad improvements, are going to be huge for the highly anticipated desktop mode, more than it would be for the actual mobile devices, but we'll just have to wait and see how that evolves over time. According to Google's blog post, platform stability is targeted for March, meaning we might not have to wait too long for the full release, and I'm actually excited this time around. This seems like a strong systems year where a new core of Android is being built, and I'm looking forward to see how things go once we get the full release. Anyways, that's enough out of me. Please let me know what you think down in the comments below. Between Beta 1 and 2, what do you think about the progress so far? Are there any other changes that you're still holding out for or hoping Google's gonna slip into future betas? Please let me know down in the comments. Until next time, this has been Jordan Floyd from 9to5 Google. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.